Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So Rich Paul is at it again. So, you guys know Rich Paul has a show with Max Kellerman called Game Over, and I just recently discovered, like a few weeks ago, that the show was on Netflix. It just goes to show you how out of the loop I have been. So apparently this show is on Netflix, right? I'm not going to watch a podcast on Netflix. That's just me, though. But it's on Netflix, and it shows up on YouTube as well. And I don't know where else the show is being played at, whatever. So, you know, Rich Paul is basically like the unofficial spokesman for LeBron. And I think the reason he started this podcast is basically to rewrite LeBron's history, rewrite the history of the NBA, and just push forth whatever agenda that they want to push forth. And anything that's said about LeBron, whatever, he's out here to combat it. And here he was doing the very same thing. As you guys know, he recently reacted to the comments that Michael Jordan made about there's no such thing as a GOAT. I told you guys this. I've been telling you guys this for years. Michael Jordan doesn't give a damn about the GOAT debate. I just saw a post yesterday where it said Michael Jordan out-earned every athlete walking on the planet. Michael Jordan. The man made $275 million. $275 million. But you think a man that is worth $4.5 billion is concerned about a damn GOAT debate and is sitting up there trying to prove himself to some moronic fans that know nothing about basketball? You really think that? That's what you think about men in their 60s who are multi-billionaires, that their number one thing on their mind is convincing some buffoon somewhere that he was the greatest player. He doesn't care. I told you this. And I've been saying it for years. This GOAT debate is made up of a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's all about marketing. And Jordan came out and said the very same thing. He said the very same thing. I never met Michael Jordan, never spoke to him, but anyone with a pair of honest eyes looking at this situation can clearly see this is just being done for money. There is no debate to be had here. All of these publications are trying to get the buzz going. LeBron is the biggest face in the NBA. It only makes sense us comparing with Michael Jordan. When somebody else comes, they'll be comparing them too. If Wemby starts winning championships, the next one is Wemby the GOAT. That's how it works. There's no seriousness in it, right? Cool. So they go on their show, and Rich Paul again continues his defense. Like, Rich Paul has defended more crimes than Johnny Cochran at this point. Like, damn, son, I get it. That's your man, but damn, son. So he goes on there, and he essentially starts to say that the reason LeBron had to create super teams or join super teams or whatever is because he never had teams that were as good as Michael Jordan. You can't make it up with these people. Take a listen to what Rich Paul had to say here, the full video. Take a look at what these guys had to say.
Text tells me is those people were brought to the team by the decision makers GM on the team. Yeah. That's not Michael. Michael was not the decision maker. Michael was a player. I don't think Michael decided who came where. Scotty was drafted there. Horace Grant was drafted there. You go and get at the second act of
Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc was drafted there. You added guys.
Ron Harper later on.
B.J. Armstrong, etc. So when guys have these conversations, and I hate to make it about LeBron because in my position, but it is what it is. We have to talk about it. It just makes no sense to me to say these type of things. You can say that, yes, Michael was successful because the pieces that were placed around him, he never had to leave. They replenished, and they were able to, I believe, grow together, and all the pieces made sense and they fit. They put the triangle offense in, and Michael, his growth came from being open and willing to play within a system because that system—
to trust his teammates.
Allowed him
Phil Jackson in the triangle.
That system allowed him to develop the trust in his teammates and also to become very efficient. They simplified things. Great. That's not a knock against LeBron, right? Because I would say this. On the other hand—
is this the research you were doing?
Yeah, and it's no offense to anybody, but on the other hand, The 2006-7 team that a 22-year-old took to the finals, Shannon Brown, Daniel Gibson, Drew Gooden, Larry Hughes, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, right? Zydrunas, Damon Jones, Dwayne Jones, Danielle Marshall, Ira Newble, Pavlovich, Scott Pollard, Eric Snow, Verjao, and David Wesley.
And it's not a finals team. It's not a finals team.
And they went up against Duncan.
It's not even
Ginobili,
a team that should go on a playoff run.
Parker, etc.
Even if you replace LeBron James with an all-star caliber player, that team does not go on a deep run in the playoffs.
No, replace him with any first team All NBA in this current and back then.
No, there's some guys who could at least take them on a run in
not
a weaker
to the finals.
conference, but maybe not to the final. But like that's
okay.
That and the Sixers team Iverson took to the finals are the two worst finals teams.
But okay, so you talk about coaches, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the coaches on that staff: Hank Egan, Melvin Hunt, Chris Gent, Kuster, Kenny Natt, Mike Malone. Mike Malone became a head coach. Melvin Hunt probably could have become a head coach, just never got the job, never got the opportunity. And Chris Gent is still coaching, stayed coaching. Now, let's go to the I think it's the 2009 team. Gibson, Hickson, Ilgauskas, Darnell Jackson, Trey Johnson, Terrence Kinsey, Sasha Pavlovich, Joe Smith, Wally Zerbiak, Verjao, Ben Wallace, Delonte West, Jawad Williams, Mo Williams, Lorenzen Wright.
We got some names on that team.
Mo Williams became an all-star, right?
Yep. You rattled off 4, 5, 6 names there that were on championship teams at one point, or else were all-stars, or else were very good players.
Yeah, but not on this team.
Right, not in the moment.
They wasn't. These guys wasn't in their prime. Ben Wallace wasn't in his prime.
This is the thing I'll say about what Stark said, Rich.
No, but wait. Before you say it, let me finish. And then, obviously, the 2010 team, there was Shaq, who was at the end of his career, Antoine Jameson, Cedric Jackson, Darnell Jackson again, Danny Green, who was a rookie or whatever. You had Mo, Sebastian Telfair, etc. Leon Poe. The point I'm making is when you have these guys go on these shows and say things, they haven't done the work. So now you talk about he had to go places. So you telling me in life, if I'm in a position to where things aren't getting better and there's a pressure and an expectation on me to actually be better, and I have to be dependent of someone else
who won't trade J.J. Hickson for Amari Stoudemire,
making decisions for me that my career is up against. You're telling me to sit there, or is it the right thing to do to go elsewhere? Are you saying go elsewhere where you have to climb this mountain? And what are you talking about? That makes no sense. So going to Miami, I was one person that was against it in the moment, but in hindsight, it was the absolute right thing to do, and you win, right? Because now I get to make the choice. I didn't make the choice to get drafted. I was the number 1 player. I was drafted by the team with the number 1 pick. It's up to that team to do certain things. Then coming back, different dynamic. Now I'm better educated. I understand what it means to win. I have different representation. I'm educated differently on the situation. And yes, what are the bright spots when you're going to look? If I'm going to look for a house and I have kids, what am I looking at? School district. I'm looking at crime. I'm looking at layout, et cetera, so on and so forth. I'm looking at property value, all those things. So going to another team, of course I'm going to look at the positives of it. And in that case, it was Kyrie Irving. What LeBron did from there.
So you saw it there. Where do we even begin? Where do we even begin? First of all, this is nothing but excuse making. This is all it is. You can slice and dice it however you want. That's what you're just up here looking for another reason to explain why my guy. Okay, fine. I grant you that he didn't do as much, or rather, he didn't have as much as Michael Jordan. He didn't have the super team. But Rich, LeBron has played with exponentially more talent throughout the course of his NBA career than Jordan. So why hasn't he been able to win more? Forget about the same, more than MJ. Serious, answer the question. You can't compare the level of talent that they had. You just can't. From the moment LeBron stepped foot in Miami, it was a foregone conclusion. Jordan never played with finals MVPs. He never did. He played with D. Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Anthony Davis, and now in his 40s, Luka Doncic, a guy averaging 34. When did Michael Jordan ever play with somebody averaging over 30 or 25? Go look at, you're talking about doing the research. Go look at Scottie Pippen. Matter of fact, you know what, Rich Paul, man, since you want to do it, we gonna do it. Dwayne Wade, we gonna do it. Since you wanna play that game, let's play the game together then. I mean, because y'all are acting like as if y'all are the only NBA fans and you the only one that got Google. He's like, the problem is the people don't do the research. Bro, we done been did this research. You new to the podcast game, man. We done been talked about this. You're not the first one exposing no new information here. We been did this already. But since you want to do it, let's do it. Let's look at Michael Jordan. Let's look at Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan's second best player, right? Scottie Pippen. Let's look at his career average. Scottie Pippen is for his career average is 16 points per game. LeBron's first superstar teammate that he played with, Dwayne Wade, averages 22 points per game. Now let's look at what Scottie was averaging during those finals years when they were winning championships. So the first one, 1990, he averaged 17.8. 1991, 1992, 21 points. 1993, 18.6 points. Scottie Pippen's career high in points per game is 22. That's without Michael Jordan to take up all the shots. We continue on. Jordan came by the second three-peat, 19, 20, and 19. That's regular season. Let's look at playoffs. First three-peat, Scottie, 21, 19, 20. Second three-peat, 17, 19, 16.8 points in 1998. Let's look at D. Wade. All right, with the two champions. So Dwayne Wade's career high in averaging in a season is 30 points per game. When he won those the first year he played with LeBron, 25.5 points per game in the regular season. Next year, 22. Next year, 21. Next year in the first year in the finals, 24, 23, and then 16. I think that's the year he got hurt. Do you want to look at AD's numbers? Do you want to look at Luka Doncic's numbers? What are we talking about here? My thing is, how long are you guys going to continue to make excuses? Let it go, man. The debate is over. Jordan said there's no debate. Y'all are still trying to have it. It's over. Nobody believes this but y'all. I'm out.